How your 20s going?
20s, interesting. Great actually. I'd say. Now I'd say life is amazing. 10 out of 10. Well, I'm currently 24 now, about to be 25 in like a month or two, August 26th. I would say my perspective has definitely changed for sure, which is kind of funny because people talk about frontal lobe development, and you hear it, and obviously you'd be like, yeah, 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 whatever. But then when it actually hits you, you're like, rah, this is what people actually have been talking about in the past. And I guess it makes you look at life very differently and changes your perspective for sure.
So you said looking at life differently and changing your perspective as well. So what was your mindset before, or what was your view on life before now?
My viewpoint on life before was that your early 20s are quite shit.
Can you put the mic close to you, please?
My viewpoint before was that your early 20s are quite shit. Just based off the fact that you're starting life with no badges and you basically have to work your way up to the top. The issue I had with that is that it's very difficult because you don't really have much experience of this world, so you're just basically navigating yourself. Um, and when you don't really have that guidance or structure in order for you to level up in life, it just makes life a lot harder, right? But with that being said, it's all about perspective and how you look at things. Because yeah, life is hard, but it's not going to be hard forever anyway. You just have to learn to firm it until that day comes where things just start clicking and then you can start moving onwards and upwards.
You said something about guidance. Do you mean in terms of family members, friends, or what do you mean by guidance?
Yeah, guidance can be from anyone, to be honest. Family members, friends, older brother, all that jazz. Just having someone there that can actually educate you in the right manner in order to move upwards in life. Because what I've realized now is that all of us humans, we crave social validation. We crave the feeling of importance. We want to be able to, look up to someone who can look after us, show to let us know that obviously we mean something to them. And this is exactly where young people, for example, when it comes to finding role models, whether it's good or bad, they're always seeking out to find someone. For example, when you look at like gangs, a lot of the young boys, they're groomed into gangs because obviously they might not have had a father figure or an older brother, so therefore they're just looking to the next best thing. Obviously, they just see the guy that's driving the Mercedes or the Bentley with all the girls, all the jewelry, all that kind of jazz, and he's thinking, okay, cool, he's living the kind of life that I want to live, so therefore you look up towards him. Or for example, someone else, someone for example who's looking up to their dad, they want to be able to actually have someone that can pretty much just teach them and show them how life is. Because if you try to do things by yourself, it can be very rough.
So in your early 20s, do you think you didn't have that?
Um, Not that I didn't have that, but the kind of journey that I'm trying to embark on, there wasn't that many people I can look up towards. For example, obviously, in terms of like family, yeah, I've got the guidance on that. But for example, the industry I want to jump into, there isn't really anyone I can look up to because, quite frankly, it's not as popular over here as it is in different locations. So I'm basically having to go through trial and error in order for me to make that happen.
So during those trial and error moments, what keeps you going? Because it's quite easy to give up, in my opinion, especially in your 20s when some people are progressing. But yeah, what keeps you going to like pursue what you actually want to do?
If you don't pursue what you want to do, yeah, what would your life look like if you decided to stay the same? And it should be that level of uncomfortability that should be enough of a driving force for you to keep on going. Because you're already living your worst nightmare at the moment, bro, which is a normal everyday today job, for example, being average, losing your mind, all of that jazz. So therefore, you ain't got no choice but to just keep on chasing your dreams and making something meaningful of your life.
Yeah, you're right. But as humans, right, when things are not going our way, we tend to like, feel bad, feel sad, or just want to give up. And I'm going back to my question. You personally, how do you keep going regardless of anything else?
If I quit now, I'm going to be living the same life that I'm living from day to day. Would you like your life to be looking like that?
I'm the one asking the question, buddy. You know.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. You want to know my perspective. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking you now. If you now decided to quit 20s motion, right? How would your life look like on a day-to-day basis?
I don't see myself quitting 20s motion.
Right. Why?
I, quitting is not really something I see in what I do. I don't. It does not make sense for me to quit.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense to you, right? So picture a world now where there is no 20s motion. What's your day-to-day life looking like?
I'll probably do another business or something else.
Another business.
Yeah.
Okay. And this other business, would you have that same level of passion and excitement to do so?
Nah, it will probably mostly be about money,
Right.
not on the passion.
And the problem is that a lot of people tend to do a lot of things for the money, then they realize that it takes a lot longer or it's a lot harder than they thought. And that's the main reason as to why they quit, right?
Yeah.
So surely, if you end up going down that path, wouldn't that mean that you'd end up quitting at some point?
Yep.
Right. So therefore, as I mentioned, if you decide to quit, you're going to end up living the life that you're living right now. And if that's the life that you want, by all means, quit. But if that's not the life that you don't want and you want to reach your desired reality, quitting isn't even an option. You wouldn't even think of quitting. If any time you go through a hiccup, you're just going to think of ways to innovate yourself, but you're never going to think of quitting. It's that simple.
Thank you for watching so far. If you're enjoying the conversation, just like, share, and subscribe as well. And if you want to be part of the conversation, just write in the comment down below to be part of it. And make sure you follow us on Insta, TikTok, and subscribe. And back to the video. One thing I want to talk about is social pressure, right? Because we're in our 20s, mid-20s specifically, and we're all navigating this world, especially in London as well. And what I tend to see is that a lot of people are not really themselves, and everyone just conform to this social pressure of what people expect them to be or to do. And how do you navigate that?
You need a level of awareness. You need to know what is going on. If you don't have an awareness and you remain naive to your surroundings, it's very easy for you to get sucked in. Then by the end of your lifespan, you're going to start realizing like, I kind of regret not putting myself out of my comfort zone. I kind of regret not being able to express myself. I regret this, I regret that, all that jazz. You don't want to be laying there on your deathbed now, regretting every single choice that you made back in your early 20s, your 30s, or your 40s. So that's what I'm saying. It's all about having that level of awareness.
Awareness.
You need to know that you are currently following the social norms, even though you don't feel comfortable and you want to be able to express yourself.
But I don't think a lot of people know that they're conforming to what society want them to do. In my opinion, I don't think a lot of people know that that's why they're doing it. Because one thing I say, like, if you actually know yourself and know you are as an individual, it'll be easy for you to navigate the world, in my opinion, and not caring about other people' opinion and what they want you to do.
So what is it? Okay, what is the issue that you're?
It's not really an issue. It's just like more of a conversation.
What's the point that you're bringing up now?
Like the
What's
point,
you're
like,
trying to get
why
across?
do a lot of us tend to conform to what other people want us to do rather than just, doing what you actually want to do with your life or anything else?
Decide the kind of life you want to live before life decides for you.
Describe your 20s, like this moment right now, with one word, and why.
Amazing.
Why is that?
Because my shift in perspective has changed. My frequency has definitely changed. I operate in a very different manner now. I've gone through an identity shift in order for me to be able to be where I am currently. And at least that way it has allowed me to realize that I'm going to reach my desired reality. And once you now have that shift in perspective, you're not emotionally dependent on the outside world. Whatever life throws at you, you don't care, because you know within yourself that you're still going to reach your desired outcome that you've been wanting.
I love that you touch on identity, and because that's literally my favorite topic to talk about. And do you think at this stage you already know you are as an individual?
Absolutely.
So you're 24 hours. So when you were 20, what was the identity change actually from when you were 20 to now at 24?
When I was 20, to be honest, all the goals and dreams I had at 20 is still what I have now. The only difference is how I operate, how I look at it, and how I need to move forward with that. when I was 20, I wanted to be a famous YouTuber. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be known, all that jazz. I wanted to be liked, respected, all that crap. Now, let's use, for example, a content creator, long form anyway. I now have to ask myself, what does a successful content creator or a long form content creator need to do in his day to day life in order for him to actually achieve the goals that he set for himself? And then you basically just reverse engineer from that. Beforehand, I was just, posting videos for the sake of posting. And I was very much active researching all that jazz. But I realized I was very, very emotionally dependent on the amount of views I was getting. And it's based off the fact that every time I would post a video, I would have strong beliefs that now you can walk through. No worries. I would have very much strong beliefs that because I put time, effort, money, blood, sweat, and tears, that I deserve to get a lot of views, right? And by all means, this bit of work I was doing, it has potential to do so. But by allowing myself for my emotions to be swayed every time a video didn't go my way, I realized someone who's already made it, right, wouldn't think like that because they wouldn't have gotten to that stage in life if they obviously allowed the. With that being said, it's all about when I say go through an identity shift here, whatever desired reality you want to reach, you now need to think, what does the person who's already achieved that, what do they do on a day-to-day basis? How would they feel? How would they move? How would they think? And then you basically just reverse engineer. And then you pretty much have to operate on that standpoint now. Because then at least that way, that's how you pretty much get to that desired reality. And yeah.
I think I might forget what we're talking about, but identity actually, yeah, it was. But
Mm.
I would, you're not quite, you're a confident guy. I've known you for years. You're a confident guy. Okay, boy, the boy. But how did you work on it? Because how do you work on it? How do you build that up?
You do. The more you do something, the more credible you become, and no one can test your bluff.
I like that, short and simple. What do you think the best thing for an individual to work on in their 20s? Or for us, actually, because we're both in our 20s. Yeah, for anyone in their 20s, what do you think is the most important thing for someone to work on in their 20s?
Your frequency. You need to have that level of awareness of how life is. And with frequency comes obviously your identity shift. Before you can even reach your desired reality, you need to understand that your way of thinking, your way of your day-to-day life, what you do and how you operate, you need to reverse engineer everything. And it goes back to saying, choose the life you want to live before life chooses for you. Because once you now have that core foundation of exactly what your desired reality you're looking for, you then literally just go on a step-by-step basis on what you need to do in order for you to reach that. So many people say they want to do this and that, they have these many goals and stuff, but you don't realize that it's not just on a physical plane that you need to act on. It comes from a mental plane and a spiritual plane. There's three different planes of existence, bro. And it's like until you can actually go through the mental and the spiritual, the physical doesn't mean anything. So your identity, you need to be emotionally independent. Like regardless of whatever life throws at you, you need to be like, you have to push. You get it? Once you now have that level of confidence and conviction within you that you know exactly who you are, then nothing can stop you in this world.
So, how do you balance having a community then? Because you said wherever life throws at you, you need to be able to, emotionally navigate yourself. But do you think you can also have a community as well at the same time navigate wherever life throws at you by yourself? Like, how do you balance that having a community and wherever life throws at you and handle it by yourself?
Well, as an having a support group.
Yeah, like a community.
That's
Because
that's all part of it. Yeah, no, you have that as well. But it's like you need to have you need to have a level of conviction and belief within yourself first and foremost before depending on the external factors, bro. Because if the external factors aren't there, if the community is not there, then what? Does that mean that's the end of your life now? That's the end of the world. You don't have that emotional support system. You need to know within yourself that you're very secure, and then you can start using the other aspects as basically as an add-on. But everything just starts from within. Everything you want in life, you already have it from within. You just need to be able to actually find that.
motivational speaker. You should become a motivational speaker, I'm being serious.
Yeah, I'll be real. You know, even like the past couple months, yeah, the amount of people that said, "Oh, motivational speaker, you should be a pastor. You know, you should do speeches, all that jazz." I hear it. I probably will end up doing. I don't even care about motivational speaking, but every time I speak, it's like,
Okay, why motivation? Because I hate motivational stuff. Because me as an individual, I already have that self discipline anyway. So it's like that motivational. Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, I just shut the fuck up. In my opinion.
yeah, I don't really like. I think I just don't like the term of people calling me a motivational speaker. It just sounds so corny and lame. But
Motivational speaker.
I can spit game to you. I can teach you the game of life for sure, and then you use it however you want to, innit? Whether you listen to me or you don't. At the end of the day, I'm living my desired reality. So if you look at my life now, you see that I'm more happy and that, and you want to know how I did it, then listen to me. If not, then go by your day.
So, what has been a painful moment in your 20s?
Painful. Probably the fact that my dad died, for sure. That was long, fam. Bro, losing a parent is long, you know.
Wait. Do you want to talk about it or should
Yeah, it's not that deep. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I can't lie, losing a parent is long because it's a shift in everything, bro. It's a shift in life. Like now, you know, it's like this in life. Yeah, you have two lungs. That's your safety net. Your parents are there to help you, to support you, to teach you, educate you, guide you, all that jazz. When you lose one of them, that means you're left with one lung. You better be very wise to shelter, to protect, to nourish, to make sure that that lung is there for as long as possible. So at least that way it can help you and benefit you, man. It's painful in the fact that it's painful in the act of the loss. But is it a shock? Does it end my life? Is it the end of the world? No, because it was gonna happen anyway, quite frankly. It just happened to happen. It just happened to happen when I was 24 rather than later. But I'm glad I'm glad I'm not someone who lost a parent when they were like 15, 16, or even younger, bro. I feel sorry for them, man, still, because at least I got to see the value of what it's like to be an active parent and play your role. And it's good enough to give me a solid foundation to work from. So I ain't really stressed too much anyway. It was painful, but we've been able to move on from that anyway, nonetheless.
So, what were some of the teachings or lessons you got from your parents, both of them?
Get your life insurance. Get your life insurance. Get your life insurance. First of all, financials. Make sure that your family is set up for life when you pass away, especially if you're the breadwinner, because you know death is already something hard to deal with. Imagine having to deal with death and bills and lack of money, all that jazz. That's just all class. Secondly, the lessons I've learned is that I swear, have kids when you're ready, bro. Don't have kids just for the sake of having kids. If you know you're not there in life financially, you're not there mentally, and don't try bless it. Don't try to disguise it as
That God is a
it's a
blessing.
blessing. Like
Cut it out, man.
just cut it out, man. You know damn well it's not a flipping blessing, bro. You done that to yourself and you're just trying to cover it up. Having a baby shower before a wedding, bro. Have some shame, man.
Oh my day.
Have some shame. You know damn well this is not how you wanted your life to be. Unless you didn't intend to get married or anything like that. Because 9 times out of 10, yeah, bro, the amount of times I've seen you guys do the whole baby shower and now you end up being a single parent, or you know, the wedding isn't there. Like it's not, you didn't build the foundations. You know what you did. You're not living in your desired reality. There's so many different ways you could have done to actually change how life is. So then now try to say, oh, my daughter, my son was my biggest blessing. Because that's another thing I realized here. How bad must your life been, yeah, for you to say that your unplanned pregnancy is your biggest blessing?
Oh, whoa,
Come
man.
on.
You know this thing is gonna get clipped, right?
That's fine. Like, I actually have to ask you, like, why is it that your child, right, that it wasn't planned, you know damn well this is not how you wanted your life to go, is your biggest blessing? What were you doing beforehand? Were you not living in your desired reality? You have to ask these questions.
So trying to be play the devil's advocate, right? But do you think that because think about it, it's quite risky, right? Risky trying to abort a child when he's already there. So like, do you think it's much better to just keep it?
Have sex with a condom.
I'm definitely not doing it. But okay, cool. Flip.
Okay, do you want me to reword it?
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. No, that would literally blow it up. So yeah. Um, we were talking about having kids, mortgage. But okay, cool. So, what were some of the things you saw in your dad that you're going to take and implement in your own life, and especially being a man as well?
He was hella calm. He was too calm, bro. Like I'm talking about like calm as in like emotional. He's just calm, bro. I deeped it. And obviously I'm very much calm. Obviously I'm an extrovert as well, yeah. But it's like it was kind of not it was concerning, but not in a bad way because even at the memorial service, yeah, Bear Man was saying that he was calm, and it made me realize like, raw, like this guy he wasn't really emotionally like like he wasn't doing too much. He was just bare, just chill, and I like that because when you're chill, it allows space for your kids to just do what they want to do, express themselves, not feel shy, not feel scared, all of that jazz. It gives them room to grow. I would say even me moving forward as well, when I have my kids as well, emotionally mature, emotional maturity for sure.
Do you see yourself having kids, and when do you see it happening?
Probably like I want to have like 4 or 5. I like having lots of kids.
Four?
Like okay, that sounds
Well, like
weird.
three women or
I sound
one?
like a Jamaican right now. Okay, cool. I like the idea of having a big family because it's cozy, it's snug, all of that jazz. But that will only come into fruition once I've set up the foundations in my life and I'm a multimillionaire. I'm talking about like 50K, 30K, 20K a month before I now start
That's
looking
not
at
20K
kids.
was like quarter of a million a year. That's not
Maybe
all.
okay, 20K a month, maybe like 1 or 2 kids. But obviously, as time goes on, I'll have more.
Yeah.
Like probably my max cut off point is probably like 4 or 5 max, because quite frankly, I don't want to drive a minivan. But like, yeah. But I'm telling you guys now, I like the idea of having multiple kids. The difference between me and you is that I'm planning my life very carefully. I'm not just having it and disguising it as a blessing, bro. I'm moving very logical with it. I'm 24. Like I have to make everything I have in life now. Every decision I make is so that
I think that's my phone.
it is.
I just got paid.
Oh. I'm currently 24. Every decision I make now is so that my 30s will be beautiful and sweet.
I love that. I think that's something I like about our friendship group, because actually we need to get everyone in one day, because we're quite intentional, which is the most important thing. Intentional about our lives and where we actually want to be in the future, basically.
I like.
Cool. So, what do you want to have, like three BMs or like a proper family?
Nah, mate. One wife, one woman. I already got my wife anyway. So
Oh shit! I actually went there.
oh, it's not her. None of you guys know who she is, and I'm gonna keep it that way until I announce her.
The one in Ghana.
Nah, bro. Like I actually have my wife. She knows. Yeah. Like you know when I say I actually have my wife, like, as in there's one babe.
I
Like
don't know.
what I mean by that is there's one babe. Yeah. Like I'm going to marry that babe. Like I've already set up my mind. Like this is the babe I'm going to marry. 100%. Yeah. I already know who's going to be.
Are you going to invite us to your wedding?
Well, duh.
Are we going to be one of the groom's people?
Who else? But bro, I have a wedding here in Ghana. You know.
We'll come. Maybe I might find my wife one day in Ghana.
Ugh, bro. Leave the Ghanaian woman alone, fam.
During those moments when you lost your dad, right? What were you feeling? Like, what were the emotions you were feeling, and also how were you able to move past it?
Number one priority is sort out finances. What are we going to do now with life after I'm gone? He was a breadwinner, so I need to make sure money has to be a priority and it has to be sorted. Bearing in mind, I'm a guy anyway, so I'm going to think very logically. The thing is, obviously, because it was a span over a year where he was sick and that, so it's like I kind of mentally prepared myself anyway. The best part about everything is the fact that he had life insurance set up, because that gave us a very solid foundation. On top of that as well, his pension and obviously the donations, all that kind of jazz, everything was taken care of. So at least now, things have started to settle down now. That's why, bro. That's why even now I'm just chilling. I'm actually not sad. Like I was sad there and then because I lost him, but I wasn't sad over like the fact that what are we gonna do now? I wasn't panicking. I always knew that we were gonna be fine anyway.
What is a conversation you wish you had with him?
I'll be real. There is none. There is none because I've realized now everything that needed to be done has been done. There's no point trying to dwell too much on things you've missed because you're just gonna put yourself in a negative mind frame and you're just gonna end up you're just gonna fall into depression thinking about all the things that you missed out on rather than think about all the things you gained. That's what I've been focusing on. Bro, we watched even during his final days, bro. We watched the Chelsea Man City FA Cup final. We watched like the Chelsea Arsenal game together. We watched bare football games. Like we actually done everything we were supposed to do anyway. That's why I'm just chilling now. I haven't missed out on anything.
And what was something you knew? Actually, what was something you didn't know in your early 20s, but you now know in your mid 20s?
Value relationships. Life is much sweeter when you start valuing relationships and you actually understand what you're doing things for. There's more meaning to it now because now there's more sense of. I'm a lot more empathetic for sure. I'm a lot more family orientated. I'm a lot more. I show more love actually. Yeah, that's what it is.
You show love?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Even like for example, with women, and it can be any women. Obviously, whereas my mom, my auntie, anyone in general, bro, I'll happily go in for a hug, smile. I just like showing affection and love in it, because you realize now when you're a ray of sunshine, when what you give out is what you get back in it. And I've noticed now because I'm a lot more positive on the outward, I just be receiving so much love, bro. And that's also part of the reason why I'm just chilling. I'm a happy guy, bro. Like, life is amazing. Life is 10 out of 10. Because of the fact that I know that I'm going to get to my desired reality and I'm living as the person who's already living in that state of frame. So for me, it's like, what more can I ask for? Yeah.
And lastly, what is a message to your future self?
I told you was gonna do it, man. Because I built this shit brick by brick.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, thank you for watching. 1 minute, let the call go past. Yeah. Thank you for watching and like, share, subscribe. Let's talk about it in the comment section below and yeah, let me know what you think. And if you want to be part of it as well, you could just comment and yeah, we just plan it. And do you have any final words you want to say to them?
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
For my days.
Wait. You can literally achieve anything you want in this life, but you need to have a level of conviction within yourself, knowing that you can do that. If you don't have that conviction, then life is going to continue to punish you. So go out there and chase your dreams.
Yeah, put your hands up like that. Thank you for watching.